The one big question I had in the back of my mind when I was considering buying the Mini 2 was, having never flown a drone before with no drone experience, would I be able to get some cinematic clips that I could use in my family vacation video? In this Mini 2 review, that's the question I hope to answer. Hey, this is Shane Long, wedding and portrait photographer based in Minnesota and Florida. And if you've been following my channel at all, you know that most of my videos are related to camera reviews, lens reviews, wedding photography. But in this video, I want to talk about my experience buying and flying my very first drone. I have zero drone experience, I've never flown one before, but anytime my family takes a vacation, my wife loves to put together a highlight video showcasing some of the highlights of our trip. So after some research, I decided to buy the DJI Mini 2. This thing is so light. According to the website, even with the memory card and the battery, it's under 250 grams.
This is important because if you're just planning on flying it recreationally, you do not need to register your drone if it's under 250 grams.
Sometime in the future, I hope to do a full review on it. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel so you can see that review when I release it. But in this video, I just want to show some of the clips that I've taken with it so that if you're like me and you've never flown one before, you can see the kind of clips that you would be able to take with this drone. Let's start by talking about my very first flight with the drone. It was 15 degrees out in Minnesota. I checked the Before You Fly app and the DJI app, and I found a local park. I wanted there to be lots of room. I was able to fly it for a few minutes before the too cold warning indicator came on. This was totally understandable given the cold Minnesota air, but I walked away from that flight completely invigorated. It was so intuitive to fly. And given that this was my very first drone, the shots opened up a whole new world for me. I spent the next few days taking it in and out of the cold for a few minutes at a time. Depending on the temperature, it sometimes lasted about 10 minutes before I got the too cold warning, but sometimes I was able to fly it for all 3 batteries with no warning at all. This was usually when it was closer to 30 degrees. I also started taking it to a local pond where we were playing hockey. It was super fun to fly anytime we were heading outside. I then decided I wanted to take the Part 107 commercial drone certification test, just in case I ever wanted to make some money flying my drone. So I studied for a couple weeks after finding a free resource and passed the test with plenty of margin. Though I will say it did stress me out a little bit. If you want me to make a video on the commercial license, how I passed the test, how I saved $360 doing it, let me know in the comments below and maybe I'll make that video in the future. Shortly after passing the test, we arrived in Florida for the winter. And now anytime we go to the beach, I love flying the drone while the kids fish and play. I am compiling way more epic clips than I ever thought I would.
All right, here's how you get it up in the air. Take it out of the bag, remove the strap and remove the gimbal cover, then push in the battery and close down the door. Then you're gonna tap that power button one time and hold the power button down to power on the drone. Put your phone into the remote, connect it, then tap the power button once and then hold it down to power on the remote. The takeoff arrow is on the left side of the screen. Tap that, then hold down the takeoff button until that disappears and the drone will take off and hover about 3 feet off the ground.
Let's quick talk about the controls. I'm using the default controls on the controller. Pushing the left stick forward and back moves your drone vertically up and down. Pushing that stick left or right turns your drone to the left or to the right. Pushing the right stick forward and backwards pushes the drone forward and backwards, and pushing that stick to the left or the right pushes the drone to the left or the right. I found very quickly that I was able to get shots where I was panning, tilting, moving the gimbal. It's super fun to fly. The Mini 2 features quick shots that are automatic flight paths for the drones, and they make getting epic shots super easy. The quick shots are fantastic for beginners. Here are 2 tips though if you're going to use the quick shots. Know that if you get close to anything and you feel any danger, all you have to do is press either of the joysticks and the drone will stop and hover. There were a couple times that I came very close to crashing the drone and a couple times I did crash the drone because I wasn't paying attention. The second tip with quick shots is that once you select the quick shots, you should also go into the settings and select the resolution. Otherwise it will default to 1080p, which I feel like looks a little compressed coming out of this drone. To save space, I have been mostly filming at the 2.7K 60 frames per second, which also allows me to slow down the footage later. And on my 5K Retina iMac, the footage looks almost identical to the 4K footage.
The camera on this drone alone is worth the price tag. It allows me to get perspectives and photos that would otherwise be impossible. It has been super fun as a photographer. It has a 12 megapixel resolution, which is very similar to my iPhone 10, but I would say the image quality is even better. The photos sync directly to my iPhone, but I'm also given the option to have the RAW files, which I can edit in Lightroom, so they can really bring out the color, bring up the shadows, and make the photos look exactly how I want. I love that I have them instantly available on my phone so that I can use them on social media. I also plan to print 8x10s and put them around my home.
Here now is some more sample footage that I've been taking with the Mini 2. When I was 10 years old, I watched Top Gun for the first time. Ever since, I've had dreams of soaring through the sky in an F-14. Buying a drone has opened up all kinds of new perspectives for me. The DJI Mini 2 has been the perfect drone for me. I love the size and I love the footage that I'm getting with it. I will have a link down in the description if you're considering buying it. Using that link really helps support me in making these videos. If this video was helpful for you, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel. I have a lot more fun stuff coming for you. We'll see you next time.